A common question we are asked is how to create a form that will pre-fill fields based on a selection in a drop-down. For example, you might have a list of contacts and you want a form that allows your users to change information that is related to a contact, such as updating a contact phone number. Let's take a look at an example. In my app, there is an icon for Edit Contact. We have a drop-down that asks me to choose a contact. Selecting Jill prefills the fields below with her contact information. We find out that Jill's phone number has changed. Simply make the adjustment and submit the form. Let's open the form again and choose Jill. And just like that, her phone number has been updated. How was this built? Good question. Let me show you. Let's jump to the screens page in the web portal and open the Edit Contact form. Notice that the Choose Contact Choices field has static options. We need to connect this to a data source that stores the contacts. Let's take a look at the list. We see Jill from the example earlier. I'm going to add another. Now that we've seen the contact's data source, the first step is to connect it to the Choices field. In the Properties, go to Answer Choices and change it from Static List to Data Source. In the drop-down below, choose the contact's data source. The display column values are the options that the user will see in the app. Let's show the full name of the contact. The value column is the value stored once the selection is made. Since email is the column 0 value in the data source, we need to leave it as is. It will become the lookup for the data source to retrieve the row data. Further down, we need to check the box for Create Update Row. This will allow the user to update the contact details. Let's put this in test mode and see what we have so far. The Choices field now brings in the contacts, and I can choose either one. Now we want to fill in the fields below based on the selected contact. Back in the form, we will bind the fields to the Choices field. This is the easy part. Click on Email Address and scroll to the bottom of the Properties. Look for Bind to Data Source column. The first drop-down is the data source. We want the data to come in from contacts. The second column is the field in the form that chooses the row we need from the data source. We configured the Choose Contact field above to do this. The last drop-down is the column from the data source that we want to retrieve. For this field, we want the email address. Let's save the form and test it before we add the rest. Force sync to get the latest changes. Then open the form. Let's choose a contact and check the email field. It is working as intended. Let's go back to the form and bind the remaining fields. Click on First Name and scroll to the bottom of the Properties. Select Contacts from the first drop-down, leave the second as is, and choose First Name from the last one. Same for last name. I'm storing the full name in a hidden field to use later in the custom output. And finally, phone number. Save the form and let's check the final result. Force sync the app. Open the Edit Contact form and choose a contact. All fields are filled in as expected. Let's update Jill's phone number. Go back into the form and confirm the update. Understanding the concept of binding fields and putting them into practice will substantially elevate your forms. Think of the time that your users will save when fields can be pre-populated with information that is already known. As a bonus, I also showed you a simple way to update the information. Reach out to the support team with questions anytime. Thank you for joining and have a great day.